and dragged himself out of the car, closing the door, locking it, and following Verity inside the office. The receptionist noticeably startled when Verity walked in, and Landon muffled a laugh, so used to the way people reacted to them by now.
"Landon Miller,"
Verity said, pointing behind them at Landon. The woman's lips parted slightly and her eyes widened. She tracked her eyes up the length of Verity's legs to their slim waist and long, slender neck. Verity cocked their head to the side and smirked, running a hand through their hair and shaking it out. Verity was unlike anyone Landon had ever met before, and you either appreciated them for that or you didn't. Thankfully, most people did. Verity snapped their fingers and directed a stern look toward Landon, then turned back to the receptionist.
"Landon has an appointment with Mr. Henson."
Landon wiped the smirk from his face and fell in line, just behind and to the left of Verity's slender figure. He appreciated the dynamic of their relationship right now more than ever because, even though he and his grandfather weren't close, Landon recognized the familiar sense of anxiety when he didn't have control over a situation building in his gut. Verity must have seen the tension in his eyes and, as always, stepped up. That had been the extent of his relationship with Verity, each of them being what the other needed, when the other needed, as much as their own identities and preferences allowed. Never more, and never less.
"Mr. Henson is ready for you, Mr. Miller."
The receptionist flicked her eyes to Landon.
"His office is the last door on the right."
She pointed down a hallway behind her. Verity nudged Landon. "Thank you," Landon told her. Verity held out their hand and Landon took it, following them down the hall. In front of the closed office door, Verity turned and gripped Landon by his shoulders.
"You're okay,"
Verity said softly. "I'm okay," Landon repeated. This routine, unfortunately, nothing new for them.
"I'll be there with you."
Landon nodded and chewed his lower lip between his teeth nervously. Verity reached up and tugged it free, then slid their arm around Landon's shoulders and knocked on the door. "Come in," came the muffled reply from behind the door. Verity looked at Landon and stepped out of the way. Landon twisted the knob and pushed the door open. He was instantly relieved to see no one besides someone whom he assumed to be Mr. Henson in the room. The attorney was an older man, large with an imposing figure. He stood behind his desk and extended his hand to Landon, then to Verity, although with a more quizzical look on his face. "This is my best friend, Verity Jones," Landon explained as he took a seat. "Ah," Mr. Henson scratched at his desk. "Duly noted." Verity took the seat beside Landon and twined their fingers together in front of their chest, elbows resting on the arms of the chair. "Well," Mr. Henson shuffled some papers around and adjusted his glasses. "Mr. Miller," he started, but Landon cut him off. "Just Landon, please." "Right, Landon. First off, let me offer my condolences regarding the loss of your grandfather, Mitchell Miller." Landon responded with a perfunctory nod, even though everyone in the room had to know his grandfather's passing was no substantial loss to him. "As you are the only living next of kin, the eldest Mr. Miller has allocated the fair majority of his estate to you directly." Landon coughed and choked, then beat his fist against his chest. "What?" "Mr. Miller indicated he wished to donate $1 million to charity, split equally 4 ways between 3 of his choosing and 1 of your own." Verity coughed out a surprised sound and glanced over at Landon as Mr. Henson laid the top piece of paper face down on his desk before continuing. "As I said on the phone, he leaves you his home in Pasadena, where he resided until his death. I have a file with the estimated property value and most recent appraisals. If you choose to sell, I can get you in touch with a trustworthy realtor." The attorney continued. "Mr. Mitchell held approximately $5 million in liquid assets, and, as he neared his final days, he arranged to have most of his additional properties sold. The balance of his cash assets is just under $10 million. "Fuck me," Landon muttered under his breath. Mr. Henson looked up at him sharply, and Verity chastised him silently. "Unfortunately," Mr. Henson continued, "there was one property besides the main estate he was not able to sell. It's still listed, but you can do with it as you wish now." He slid a manila folder across the desk. Landon picked it up and flipped it open. The property in question was obviously abandoned. Judging by the brick facade and arching stained glass, it looked